Hey friends, if you're about to book your very first cruise, there are things that nobody tells you, and some of them can cost you money. Before you step on that ship, watch this video. Okay, number one, you're taking your first cruise and you decide to book a guarantee cabin. Nothing wrong with that. We all want to save money, and sometimes a guarantee cabin can be less expensive. But let's say you're booking a cabin. Well, put it this way: I know someone who was going to Alaska, and it was their very first cruise, and they booked a guaranteed cabin with a balcony. And what they end up getting was an obstructed view balcony, not a partially obstructed view, a completely obstructed view balcony. I didn't even know they had those. I mean, totally obstructed, where you could see nothing. There was a balcony there, but you couldn't see anything. Now, they had already, spent money getting some very nice binoculars and things. In Alaska, you think you're going to be seeing glaciers, whale watching, things like that, but it was totally obstructed by a huge lifeboat right in front of the balcony where you saw no signs of the ocean at all. Okay, so it's very important if you're going to have a trip like that, don't book a guaranteed cabin. If seeing out the balcony is very important to you, don't go that route. Just wait, save up a little bit more until you can get the cabin that you really want. Okay? All right. Number two, in the dining room, you can order extras. Yes. Yes. You can order an extra appetizer, extra entrees, extra desserts, because you might look at the menu and you can't decide what you want. That happens. You see two desserts you want. I might see a carrot cake up there. I might see tiramisu, and I can't decide what I want. Order both. You can order both in the main dining room. It's okay. All right, number three, gratuities are added to your statement on a daily basis. Yes. Now, we know that the ships do charge gratuities, and it can be a controversial matter as to people who believe in gratuities. If you do or you don't, I'm just letting you know that they will be added to your statement. Now, what you do after that is totally up to you, but they will be added to your statement. So, make sure you watch your statement on a daily basis so you can know what's going on. Okay, number four, the walls in your cabin are magnetic. Yes, yes. So we love to keep our cabin tidy. We like to put things up on the wall. If you want to hang some caps or some of those papers they hand you on the cruise and you just want to keep your room tidy, you can put them up on those magnetic hooks. We have hung t-shirts up there. Anything you want to just keep off the desk and off the dresser and everything, just to keep everything tidy. Make use of the magnetic cabins. It's also great if someone is having a birthday, anniversary, whatever, and you want to just put up some decorations. Take advantage of that magnetic cabin. The front door of your cabin is also magnetic, so a lot of people like to bring those magnets that you put outside your door. Happy birthday, first cruise, whatever. You can make use of that as well. Number five, when you go into the dining room on night one for your dinner, if you're not happy with the table you were given, all you have to do is speak with the maitre d'. Now, he may not be able to make it right on night one, but you just go to him, let him know what it is that you're looking for, and just about every time we've done it, by the time you get to night two, you have a brand new table number, and they'll send that table number. The room steward will drop it off at your cabin. They'll let you know what the new number is. But the maitre d' will definitely take care of you as far as that is. All right. Number six, your cabin may not be ready upon arrival. Now, usually the earliest time you can arrive to the ship is 10:30. And the latest is around maybe 2:30. But if you're going to be boarding the ship early around the 10:30 time, your room is definitely not going to be ready. It's not going to be ready that early. But if you're boarding around the 1:30 time, then your cabin is most likely going to be ready. You may not have your luggage, but your cabin will be ready. So if you board early, in most cases, your cabin will not be ready. All right, number 7, your phone may update. The clock in your phone may update while you're out in port. But you want to make sure that you stay on ship's time because you can get left behind. Your phone will update all by itself. If you're out in one of these ports, your phone will update, and then next thing you know, you're out there and you might be a pier runner. You might miss the ship altogether. So make sure you stay on ship's time. All right, here we are for number 8. Aside from the main dining room, you have choices. They have what they call specialty dining. So if you enjoy sushi, hibachi, Italian food, seafood, steakhouse, those are some restaurants that they have on board. It is an extra charge. You do pay for those restaurants. And it is a flat fee, so you don't look at the menu and say, I want, steak, this and that, and that's the price. It's just whatever the fixed price is for that restaurant, that's what it is. You go there and you order whatever you're going to order. But you do have choices other than eating in the main dining room every night. So don't think you're going to be on a cruise for a whole week and you miss out on some foods that you really enjoy. All right, number 9. Standard cellular at sea leads to massive phone bills unless your device stays in airplane mode. Make sure your phone stays in airplane mode, especially when that ship gets ready to sail away. Make sure it's in airplane mode because your phone will flip over to cellular at sea and you will rack up a massive phone bill. Okay, so make sure you keep that phone in airplane mode. Okay, number 10. Cabin location matters. Rooms under the pool deck or above a nightclub can be very, very busy and noisy. Early in the morning, if you're under the pool deck, you could hear chairs scraping back and forth across the floor where they just moving chairs and stuff on the pool deck. You could hear nightclub. If you're next to a kitchen, a stock cabinet somewhere, you could be hearing all kinds of noises. And I know sometime at the front of the ship, I've heard people say that they hear that big chain thing moving when the ship is pulling into port. So look at that map. You can look at it online. I know Cruise Mapper has one. There's one called Deck Plans. You can look at where you see the actual floor that you're looking to book on. It'll show you the cabins. Then you can look above and below. You really want to have a cabin that is got cabins above and below. The 2 decks above and below you. Ideal is to have cabins up and down from you. And then that's going to give you the least amount of noise. Okay? So I want to know what surprised you on your first cruise that you had no idea. Put your comments down in the cabin because you could be helping someone else who's about to go on their first cruise. So anything that you might have experienced that you had no idea, you were surprised, good or bad, please put it in the comments. And thank everyone for watching. Thank you for subscribing, keeping your notification bell on, and we'll be back. We'll be back. We got more content coming. We've got travel coming. And we definitely want to keep you involved. So thank you, friends. Everyone have a wonderful day.